Flash is a movie that had a lot of issues leading up to its release. And when they finally announced that this movie was going to be released after loads and loads and loads of delays, there was a lot of hype around the trailers, around how much money it cost to make this movie and how important it was to put this movie out, despite the fact that a lot of issues were happening, a lot of controversy was happening with the lead of this movie. But apparently it was so good that despite all of the stuff that led up to this point, they had to put out this movie. And put out this movie they did, but they could not avoid the inevitable truth that this movie has a lot of problems. Let's get into this review. Come on. So Barry finds that he can travel back in time, and so he decides that he wants to go back in time and stop his mom's murder, and in so doing free his dad, who happens to be in prison in the present, from the accusation that he murdered his mom. He's warned by Batman that going back in time could mess up a lot of stuff, but he finds a way to rationalize how it makes sense for him to do it without impacting anything. And he goes back in time and he saves his mama. And as it turns out, there are consequences for his actions. And therein lies the meat of this movie. Putting aside the fact that I'm not a fan of Ezra Miller, looking at this just as him playing Barry Allen, I do not like the way that this character is portrayed. I never liked it in the Justice League movie. I didn't like it here. He just comes across very obnoxious. He's very irritating. He's just not serious at all. They made him very comedic, and I found him very off-putting. And what made this worse is that they had two of him in this movie, and the second version of him is worse. They are incredibly annoying characters, and that is one thing that really, really, really grated on me when I was watching this movie. My biggest issue with this movie, however, is the CGI. What? Shockingly bad. And I noticed this, as I'm sure most of you did if you've already seen this movie, from the first scene, the first action sequence where he has to save these babies from this building. When I saw the visuals, I was like, what is happening? And for a second, I thought, like, maybe this is just a one-off. But as the movie progressed, I was like, yeah, this is a theme for this movie. Awful visual CGI. There was something off about this. It had this uncanny valley, deep fake nonsense that it was I can't wrap my head around how this is such a big budget movie and this is what they gave us. It was glaringly obvious, and then it kind of throws you out of the immersion because you're just seeing this and you're thinking, how does this happen? I mean, if I go to the cinema to watch a big budget movie that's supposed to be like a blockbuster, it's a superhero movie, and I'm expecting to see incredible visuals, and then I see this, what they gave us, which is so flippin' cheap and just really bad, and you think, like, what are we doing here? What is the point? What is the point of anything that is? It was just bad. Then they had these cameos, many of them being just underwhelming or just very weird. Just like, why? The one thing that I did kind of enjoy was Michael Keaton's Batman. They had this one fight sequence in a scene where they go to Russia. I think it was Russia. They went to Russia, and he has this action sequence that I thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. I enjoy that. And I also enjoyed Supergirl, although she didn't get a lot of screen time. Understandably, these two people were really just the only thing that I kind of liked, because they didn't really give them anything to do that was worth hyping up. The trailers lied to us. But yeah, they were the only two things about this movie that I kind of liked. I personally would not recommend paying to see this movie. There is nothing about this movie that is so exciting that you need to see it. It doesn't lead anywhere. And then they have this annoying and pointless after credit scene, which is just almost like a nail in the coffin. Like, we've already given you a bullshit movie, but let's just add to it and give you some more trash that has nothing to do with anything. Usually end credit scenes are either really fun or they're leading you into the next story. This end credit scene does none of those things. It's just pointless. So you can comfortably miss this movie and wait till it's streaming somewhere. And even if you don't see it, you're not missing anything. I did not enjoy this movie, but this is merely my opinion. What did you think? Please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And as always, I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to listen to me talk about how I feel about whatever I feel about whatever. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and please come back and watch some more of my videos. Have a lovely rest of your day. Mwah.